On December 6, 1898, famous photojournalist Alfred Eisenstaedt was born in West Prussia. His mother and father, Joseph and Regina Eisenstaedt, were merchants during this time. 8 years later, they packed and moved to the city of Berlin. As Alfred grew into his teenage years, his love for photography grew with him. At age 14, he received his very first camera, an Eastman Kodak folding camera with roll film. In 1917, Alfred Eisenstaedt leaves for the World War I German Army at age 19. Only a year later, he was seriously wounded, almost losing both his legs, by being hit during a British shelling in the Second Allied Western Offensive. After returning from war, his parents lost their business and all their money. He was forced to find work. For 10 years, he sold buttons and belts. During this time, he purchased the camera Erminox, later selling his first photograph of a woman playing tennis in 1927 while on vacation in Czechoslovakia. He soon began a freelance photography career that inspired him to take more pictures.
Photojournalism had just started, and I knew very little about photography. It was an adventure, and I was always amazed when anything came out.
A couple years later, Eisenstaedt took another very famous picture, the ice skating waiter, in 1932 at the Grand Hotel.
I did one smashing picture on the skating head waiter. To be sure, the picture was sharp. I put a chair on the ice and asked the skater to skate by it. I had a microflex camera and I focused on the chair.
In 1935, Alfred immigrated to the United States of America, right after Hitler rose to power. At the same time, Alfred acquired a Rolleiflex camera. A year later, Life magazine hired him as one of the first of 4 staff photographers. In 1944, Alfred captures a snapshot of American soldiers waving goodbye to their wives for an assignment for life with his Rolleiflex.
You can hold a Rolleiflex without raising it to your eye. So they never saw me taking the pictures. I just remained motionless like a statue. They never saw me clicking away, basically. For the kind of photography I do, one has to remain very obtrusive and blend in with the crowd.
1 year later, on August 15th, 1945, Eisenstaedt captures a photo that created many memories and is known as his most famous picture.
I saw a sailor running along the street, grabbing any and every girl in sight. Whether she was a grandmother, stout, thin, young, old, didn't make a difference. I was running ahead of them with my Leica, looking back over my shoulder. Then suddenly, in a flash, I saw something white being grabbed. I turned around and clicked the moment the sailor kissed a nurse. People tell me that when I'm in heaven, they'll remember this picture.
In 1949, Alfred Eisenstaedt meets and marries his wife, Kathy Kay, a South African woman. They had no children. On August 23, 1995, Alfred Eisenstaedt went on vacation in Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, visiting Martha's Vineyard when he died at age 96.
My style hasn't changed much in all these 60 years. I still use, most of the time, existing light and not to push people around. I am as much a diplomat as a photographer. People often don't take me seriously because I carry so little equipment and make so little fuss. When I married in 1949, my wife asked me, "But where are all your real cameras?" I never carried a lot of equipment. My motto has always been, keep it simple.
Sunshine, go away today. I don't feel much like dancing. Some man's gone, he's tried to run my life. He don't know what he's asking. When he tells me I better get in line, I can't hear what he's saying. When I grow up, I'm gonna make it mine. These ain't dues I've been paying. Well, how much does it cost? I'll buy it. The time is all we've lost. I'll try it, and he can't.
Do it again. Photojournalism had just started, and I feel like I'm a young man though. Not like
to be an old man?
Yeah. I don't know. Old men aren't always like.
Speak slowly.
Photojournalism had just started, and
Speak a little louder because
Okay.
old people talk loud because they can't hear.
all right, here we go.
Working starts to make me wonder where the fruits of what I do are going.